I wonder if it starts when you start it or if it starts when my. There it goes.
What?
I was saying I'm wondering
I
if it
can.
starts.
I cannot. Oh, I can. Say it again.
Sorry, what?
What did you say?
I was just saying I'm wondering if it starts when you start it or if it starts when it shows up on mine that it's live.
I think it's when it shows up on yours. Is it on yours?
Yeah, it's on mine.
Okay. So, welcome. Hi. This is the week number 8, in which we're going to discuss the different kinds of bias that we can go through. This week we had to submit individual example concerning bias in our life or imaginary kind of bias. What did you submit?
Do you want to read yours first?
Yeah, I got it from just from my own life.
Okay.
So what?
I got mine from my own life too.
Oh, perfect. So what I did for mine is that the substance in the workplace, um, I stumbled upon situations in which I have to audit the work of other two workers, and I I'm biased towards one of them because I have discussed more with that person and I know that person like work logic. But I am at the same time seeing myself into not reviewing the work as well as and as effectively as I'm reviewing my other coworkers because I just think my other one will be fine instead of giving both the same kind of filter. At least you go through. So I find myself that with like that kind of problem sometimes, but um, I know that's something I have to work on. What about you?
I did mine about it was actually something in the article that gave me the idea about how we can be biased towards our own kids.
Oh yeah.
And like just thinking that our own kids are smarter than other kids. And
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of talked about like um so I used the word ambiguity just but it was actually like mostly addressing familiarity. Um
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of ambiguity around the development of infants.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly under one because infants in the first year have like monthly milestones. And
Yeah.
then once they get past one, it's like every 6 months, and then yearly milestones. Um, but babies develop so fast in the first year, and there's just so much like some babies perfect like motor skills really early, and some are later. And so like one example that I used was so my daughter, my first child, she started crawling at 6 months, which
Wow.
um, which I thought was normal. I had no idea that that was really early until my son, he hit 6 months and he wasn't even close. He was barely rolling over at 6 months.
Oh my.
And I was like, what the heck? Like, is he behind or what? And so at his 6 month appointment, I brought it up to his doctor, and he was like, no, that's more of a 9 month skill. Most babies don't crawl until 9 months. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, my first crawled at 6 months. And he was like, yeah, that can be kind of disconcerting having one child that's ahead of the curve and then another child that's normal.
Wow.
And so he's 7 months now, and he's just like starting to get up on his knees, and he'll like rock back and forth on his knees, like he really wants to crawl.
Yeah.
But he can get around the room just fine without crawling, like rolling over and spinning on his stomach and stuff. But but my daughter, she crawled super early, and um, and I could never understand why people were so amazed that she was crawling at 6 months. And I was like, that's normal, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I just had no idea. And then, but then she didn't walk until she was 14 months, where a lot of babies walk when they're like 12 months. That's like a 1 year skill is walking. But then I was talking to, and I mean, as far as walking, like that's a really, it's the age of development for walking is like really ambiguous. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's not really a set, like most babies walk around 12 months, but my neighbor was telling me that the record for her, she has 5 kids, and the record for her kids for walking was 7 months and 3 weeks.
7 months? That's
That is
crazy.
so early.
That is very early.
And she has her baby is um let's see, he's almost 2 months older than mine, and he's almost walking. So he's 9 months and he's almost walking. It's like any day now he'll be walking.
Mm.
And my baby isn't even crawling yet. So it's just um it's kind of funny how that happened. And then my daughter didn't get her first tooth until she was um right about the same time she started walking. She was like 14 months when she got her first tooth, which is also pretty late. Like most babies, I think, get their first tooth around 9 months.
Really? I have no idea.
Yeah, but she didn't get her first tooth till she was 14 months. But then she got them all at once. Like a lot of babies, they start getting their teeth at 9 months, and then it's kind of drawn out over a year. They get all of their teeth. Like they get the first 8, and then they get the molars at about 2. And um, but she didn't get her first tooth till she was 14 months, and she had all of her teeth except for like 2 or 3 of them by the time she was 2.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah, it just babies are different. Like
and yeah, you can get easily biased concerning
oh yeah,
their
so yeah, like going back to the bias, like it can be really easy to be biased. Like yeah, my kid crawled at 6 months, so she's smarter than yours.
mm-hmm. Just think
And that doesn't really have much to do with it, really.
mm-hmm. It's just like early development.
Yeah, yeah. Like she crawled at 6 months, but she didn't walk until 14 months, so
Wow.
kind of evened out, I guess. Or she was just happy with crawling.
You maybe.
There have been some people that I have observed that have a lot of older kids and then a baby, and the baby will tend to walk earlier than all the other kids because they want to keep up with the older kids.
With the other
So
kids.
so they'll decide that they want to walk earlier so they can keep up with the rest. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
that happen a lot, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's more of one of those things that happen because of evolution, that they're just wired to want to be at
Yeah,
the level of whoever is around them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice. Should we use your example? I like your example.
We can use yours. I liked yours.
But didn't we use mine? Oh, we used yours, didn't
No, we
we?
used mine. I think we've used mine the last couple times.
That's true.
Yeah, we can use yours. Do you want to just email it to me?
Yeah, I just quickly sent it over to you. Um, Gmail.
Either that or just in the Hangouts chat, whichever you want.
Okay, I have to quickly type it because it happened what happened to you last time. Okay.
I feel like I kind of went off on a tangent on the.
No, you're really fine, and I
I
understand.
like talking about babies.
And that kind of ambiguity also happens in like situations like the ones that the teacher explained, in which he wants to grade every one of us more objectively, but how can he not be like be willing to give the one who showcases more like a better work than the one who never ever shows up to live chat, for example.
Yeah.
So I think it does it's I think it's tied to that as well. Mm, I wish I could review my submission.
I know. I made the mistake once of typing my submission just in the quiz and not saving it in a Word document, and then I couldn't access it, so I couldn't remember what I put.
That's what I do. I tend to,
I learned my lesson. I haven't done that again.
I know.
Oh, that doesn't fall.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I don't know how to move this on the computer. I'm sorry. The names that are in the submissions that I'm gonna send you right now, they are like they're not real. They're both names that could go either a man and a woman or a woman, and you never specify if it's a man and a woman. That can be by.
Okay.
So I'm just leave it like that. That maybe if the wording is weird, that's the only reason why. It's protein nose. Okay, there you go. Did you receive it?
Did you send it in Gmail?
Oh no, I'll send it to the group chat here in the Hangout. Yeah.
I haven't gotten it yet. Sorry. Too many things. I haven't gotten it.
What?
I didn't get it.
You didn't? Let me email it to you then. Okay, I just sent it to you.
There we go. That's a really good example.
That what?
It's a really good example.
Thank you.
I like it.
It was worded way better in the normal submission. I just forgot to put it on our document part. I wonder what the questions are gonna be. Like, what do we ask? Like, what are we gonna do? Is it a different template this week?
What kind of bias would this be?
What?
What kind of bias would it be? And just give the options like ambiguous familiarity or ambiguity familiarity. The other one.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I think that's what we should do.
Discounting. Oh, that we should put that one because that one's tricky. Um, I can't remember the fourth one. That's really bad.
I think in this kind of I'm liking this kind of bias. It goes into familiarity
Yeah.
more than
Definitely
anything else.
familiarity. I just can't remember what the other ones are.
The what?
I can't remember what the other ones are.
So discounting, I'm just like quickly just skimming through. There's like escalation as well, and it's like escalation is like you're trying like when you hide things that are not as important. Like you try, like you normally tend to conceal or explain away like minor indiscretions or oversights. Um, some things without realizing that you're doing it. And that's not the kind of bias that we're going to talk about. Like that doesn't apply to the example. The one that I know that it applies to familiarity because less people are more willing to harm strangers and individuals they know, especially when those individuals are paying clients with whom they have ongoing relationship. An auditor who suspects questionable accounting must thus choose unconsciously perhaps between potentially harming his client and himself by challenging a company's accounts or harming faceless investors by failing to object to possibly skewed numbers. So the longer the accounting partner serves a particular client, the more biased his judgments will tend to be. And then um, interest to another party. And this is more this plays out in the sense that because I have a strong relationship with Alex in this case, I am less willing to disapprove of his work than I would of Sam.
Yeah. Sorry, this won't stay all of a sudden. I had it propped up really well.
Oh, you're good.
Now it won't stay. Sorry, I don't mean to be messing with it, but it won't stay. I'll just go like that. Okay.
How are you doing?
Good. Just typing the feedback to the correct answer. Um, I had something in my head and now I can't remember what it was.
Would you give me 1 second?
Okay.
I need to go grab something. I'm sorry, what?
I didn't say anything. I'm just
Oh, sorry.
typing. Okay. So for familiarity, I for the correct answer feedback, I put she has known Alex longer than Sam and is therefore more familiar with Alex.
Wasn't it for familiarity?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So then wrong answer number one, I have attachment. And I have attachment is usually for the feedback, sorry. Attachment is usually associated with a business client relationship. In this case, she was not hired by Alex to do audits.
Yes.
So she has no reason to want um,
To want to give him or her preference over Sam.
and approval.
And then you should, in another incorrect answer should be escalation.
Oh, escalation.
Escalation. And say that it's incorrect because, well, because it's familiarity. And the feedback would be that escalation is whenever you conceal or explain away minor indiscretions or oversights without realizing you're doing it. But this is more in a personal case instead of someone else's. And that's why it doesn't apply because I'm not reviewing my own work, I'm reviewing someone else's. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, how many do we have left?
We just need one more.
One
We
more.
can do discounting.
Which one?
Discounting.
Discounting. So it's, when people tend to be far more responsive to immediate consequences than delayed ones, especially when delayed outcomes are uncertain. Okay. It's just simply doesn't apply because it's not like I'm the audit that I'm doing on them is not gonna be delayed. Like it has to be for the work that they have just finalized. And it is not because it's not familiarity. It's not that they're going to give me the work at different times either. And since it's an audit that I have to do immediately, I have to like it will give me immediate consequences, and like that's part of my job. Like I cannot go 2 days without auditing like whatever they do and wherever I train them, for example. So it simply doesn't apply because of that reason. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So I put discounting is delaying reporting major problems to avoid unforeseen consequences. In this case, she is not just delaying reporting major problems, but she is merely more biased to see Alex's work as acceptable.
Sam's. Because I'm being biased towards Alex, and I'm not.
Yeah, you're more biased to see Alex's work as being acceptable.
As Alex. Same, Sam's. There you go. Yes. Perfect. Will that be it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So I'm gonna stop.
The link for the recording.
Perfect. I'm gonna stop the podcast right now.